Mister's going to be under pressure, but at least he's got blamef in support.
Yeah, absolutely. Those odds over at 1xBet leaning in favor of the Astralis boys. So they're hearing you, Brandon. I'm on the underdog side of things, apparently. Of course, if you're a believer as well, you can go and check them out. But a very slow pistol here for APEKS. Calculative, right? They are trying to piece together the ideas of Astralis on the pistol. And look at this. They're 4 towards A.
Yeah, it's a really good setup. JKM thinking about going towards the toilets, but look, APEKS completely reroute. They're already in connector, and if they just add the pace here, well, Glaive's going to hear all of it, but he's the only defender here. Rotations need to scurry on over.
Yeah, absolutely. Glaive poised at the ready, but it's Device here to take first contact. Smoke going to be dropped in front of them, and the boost will be assembled over the left-hand side, and Glaive, he's able to jump in on it and get first blood here. A retake required, maybe not. Glaive dunks the nade onto JL's head, and that's it, 5v3.
At least that bomb can be planted. That's a consolation for APEKS, and there's still scope for them to win this round, especially with North finding that kill and Stiko going aggressive. Mr. strikes back with 2, and now it just leaves it all onto Mihu. 1 versus 3, low HP, passes the first test, but Mr. overwhelms. A hat-trick of kills to kick off proceedings.
Yeah, really important, but a bomb plant, right, that's going to save APEKS a little bit.
4 positions. So the Astralis rotate in, they've got no vision, they can't help out the teammates isolated on the bomb site. With utility already being deployed and only 1 smoke on Mihu, that makes it very difficult. JL just going for a contact fight, trying to find a way in.
No utility though, Brandon, so they are going to be quite insufferable to get out onto this site. Astralis have got a lot to put up and defend against as JL wiggles his way out of short and wants to evaluate this situation from a closer range. And Khalil, especially, from Jacob, trying to get stuck in. Bit of tag damage, but again, got to reload. Is this the time that APEKS want to try and springboard their way up towards B? Jacob trying to dance around the pillar, and Zip's still alive and kicking, but JL's double might even make it a hat-trick here as Mihu saves the day. blamef back in business from the heavens, but he needs more than just God to save him. It's Device. AWP in hand, no, it's an M4 instead. But he's going to have to ride this one solo. His teammate's still rotating, but he's very self-conscious of a short push right now, Brandon. Very, very aware. As Astralis, 40 seconds left, but both players dedicated towards B.
Look at how passive Astralis are being right now. They do not want to overstep the mark. Same can be said with APEKS, diligently clearing every angle, trying to gather up each one of these clues. And Norks found a big piece of the puzzle over towards Monster. Device falls, and now the responsibility, as it so often is thrown into blamef's hands. Low HP on both of these players. 15 seconds, that bomb, it's got to start to commit, and that's where blamef can swing on, remove JL, and Nork is walking wounded, hobbling out towards the back of the bomb site, and now blamef, he's just trying to constrict his prey, walking ever so closer, damage exchanged, but not the kill just yet. Nork has got this on his hands, and he's repositioned, he's reconvened over towards Monster, even more damage, blamef is still low, but he clutches up. It's back-to-back retakes, and Astralis just about hold on.
Brandon, look how many bullets he has left in the mag. A single bullet, the difference between life and...
They've got back-to-back bomb plants. Only minimal players surviving. That one was only by 4 HP, but look at blamef. He wants to shut this round down before it can even really begin. JKM actually doesn't get caught off guard, and nor can JL combine. Suddenly, this gets very difficult for Astralis. Device can't do a thing in response.
Very severe repercussions to this force by APEKS. Have brought Astralis back down to 2. Mihu going to have to use a smoke as a blockage, and an aid behind him, forcing him further out. 8 points of health. That Molly doing even more work. A Zip will take him down. Sure, it's a single frag, but it's a consolation to a very dominant performance by APEKS here in round 3. You've got to be chalking this one up to a save, and finally APEKS are able to make a breakthrough.
For Galil, I guess it's an upgrade, but if Mr. falls, then that feels even more disastrous. Look at the flanks coming in. Stiko and JL trying to hold and just get rid of this Astralis weaponry, making it so very difficult for them to save in. Look at this pinch. It feels almost impossible for Zipnik to get out of this alive. Swings on through, JKM strikes, and Mr. soon to follow. No rifle saved over, and that economic woe from a down in case that AWP was peeking. Instead, Device is over towards long toilets. Could be tested by JKM. JL receives a little bit of flak through the wood. over towards short. But look at this from Astralis. This double pushing towards Monster. It's unconventional, but it could pay off.
Polluting the cloud of idea that the B control is there as APEKS going to be caught out a little bit. JL falls to the hands of the Monster push, but look at this. Mr. goes above and beyond the boundaries of B. He wants to make sure this flank is going to catch a couple more in isolation. A smoke towards connector to try and guide APEKS back up towards A, Brandon, and that's exactly where Misters want to be flanking right now.
Speaking of flanks, you got Device ever so close. Just doesn't actually elect to play trigger discipline, takes the first kill and gets out a dodge. And what that does is as APEKS will line up smokes, they have to come back and deal with him, but he drops the bomb. Mihu's falling, Nork making sure to follow. It's a little bit messy, but he does trade out the kill. But all this time, it's not only allowed Glaive to come up long, but Mister's in the back lines, and he could catch out the bomb here.
Got to be quick with it though, Brandon. 30 seconds left. APEKS are going to try and head up towards the A site. And, well, I would have liked to have seen them group a little more together as Xyp9x will punish an over-oppressive Stiko. Now it's just down to one. Long flank might not even be needed because Xyp9x wants to do it all solo. And it's 3 in the round. Mister's flank null and void, but it still gives Astralis an equalizer. It's 3-all.
What a play by Xyp9x. Starts off proceedings and closes it. Device does incredibly well here just to reposition and disrupt the executions going on. Yeah. Allows time for the rotations to come through. And the fact that Xyp9x gets both kills here.
A lot revealed and strategy not yet compromised by the attacking side of APEKS as Device over the top of the smoke will find Nork. A very critical opening kill. Blame F wants to lurk around the smoking connector as Mr. will find JL. Stiko another. Mr. and Device both put holes through the APEKS attack. And what, in the first 15, 20 seconds of the round, we find us the CT side. Astralis wanted to keep a hold of utility as Blame F jiggling in connector. Doesn't want to exactly sell Mr. out on this short play, but doesn't exactly want to risk his life to help him either. Stiko spotted and a deep smoke. That's going to give Blame F heaps of control right now as he just wants to sit and wait. Basically, to see what the response is here for APEKS. A very slow default, a lot more calculative. And Blame F thinks enough of it and wants to aid Mr. in short control, makes the long rotate back up towards A before he's caught in isolation.
Yeah, it's good that he's on his bike early because Device is completely alone right now. And he's on an island out towards long. But APEKS been playing these defaults quite slowly. Very methodical about the approach. They want to make sure they've got as much advantage as possible. They know when to execute into the bomb site. But for right now, they've been given nothing. Maybe it changes here. Mihu on Device, but Device stands tall, catches Mihu on that timing.
Scrambling for solutions here, APEKS. Man down once more. Don't forget, you know, it was JL on a deagle to start this round off, so he hasn't exactly got the best of weaponry to aid him as Jacob will strip one away as Stiko finds a second. A beautiful entry. A set piece that even Astralis didn't expect. 4v3 now down to the post plant. Mister's going to join his teammates. You've still got Xyp9x in the picture and Blame F's nade to bring the numbers back down. If you do attempt to look for this retake, it needs to be now Mister. Finds the first contact on Stiko, nearly taps away the AWP of Nork. Blame F now tries to wiggle his way out of that bank smoke and in and around the truck position. Needs to ride it solo as Nork holds it down. Brilliantly held. Or do you think it's just literally just because of the money? Because I thought
just
maybe
the way it's gone.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's been difficult. It has been difficult, 100%. Astralis here on overpass. Need to start making a big impression. CT side need to start clocking in some rounds. Now's your perfect time to do so, as you said, when your backs are against the wall.
Boost now looking to be established. I think Blame can potentially hear this. Definitely hears the drop. Mister can swing on any contact. Device is going to take point over towards Party. As soon as JChem comes around the corner. No! It's actually a bait in for Blame. And then Mister swings. That's perfect. Device has never been revealed.
Nice shot. Tags up Blame. But again, a numbers game that favors the CT side. Nork doesn't exactly want to have a roll of the dice to see if they keep it. They're down to 3 here, APEKS. Not ideal, but context of this first half is massive. That is, they find themselves a round up, and they are on this T side. Zip, got to be careful as JL leaps over the smoke. Elevated angle towards default, one that puts him to sleep. And ultimately, I think it's safe to say this round should be going in the way of Astralis unless of course, there's going to be more oppression for APEKS as niko walks into similar fate. It's Nork against 4, up on the back of the site, trying to scope in on Mister all the time this is happening. He is going to get baited down. Device, he falls, but something to note now, Brandon, there's an AWP on the floor. This could be it. This could be Device picking it up for a second attempt.
There it is. Yeah,
5-all, and it is indeed Device with the AWP, and wants to get aggressive up towards middle early doors again. APEKS slowing things right down. I mean, they're not even attempting some early A presence here, Brandon. I mean, Jacob's kind of nipped through the mollies. Other than that, Device just probably assuming that no early presence towards A means this is more of a B lean setup here for APEKS. But in fact, connector control seems to be something that they want. And that is a lot of information. Not so much damage until Mister does that. Nearly a kill and Device to open things up. Miku already tagged from earlier on. This is a brilliant position for Astralis to be put in. blamef takes place for the AWP. A change that Miku didn't expect in a climate he won't have any time to adjust to. 5v3, even more damage done, Brandon. It is bullet after bullet connecting in connector. And APEKS, I mean, without firing anything in accuracy, down to 3. JL, Jacob, Nork, all sitting without 100 HP. Jacob does find his way back in, but still a numbers game that favours Astralis.
this is difficult now. Device on a pedestal. And he needs to swing over, but Nork's holding. That's a big kill to find, but I like this reposition from Glaive. He's threaded the needle, and now he's in long. And I think it's the last place that APEKS expect him to be. As JKM will fall, Nork follows suit, and suddenly JL, he's thrown into this 1 versus 3, but can't get past the big man.
Send it in. 4 AKs for that T side. No warp is going to be a big withdrawal to Nork's arsenal. You know him as a pretty proficient big ring user. JL, though, in this round, Glaive sent him out very early on. Goes for the wall bang, in fact, from the sandbag, and he does connect everything he needs to. Device holding connector, got to be careful. He goes underneath, and of course, it's Device. It's the AWP in his hands, and it is an adjustment. Most will think hard, but for Device, he thinks easy.
These spams are on point over towards connector and be short. It doesn't matter where you stand if you're APEKS, because it's not only the damage, it's just the information. They give off different audio cues. And it also just completely puts APEKS under continuous stress. 3 versus 5 in this one, grouping outside Monster. Well, that's the wrong decision. There's so many players here. Another re-smoke. There's no way in. I would be thinking about saving.
Maybe. Just another one of those rounds that in the first few seconds, you just lose too many men. You kind of want to think to the future more than the present, and as you say, a save would probably be the most optimal solution to it. A 3rd frag in the round, though. Kind of makes the save redundant. Someone's going to have to be a sacrifice in the next round. Someone's going to have to only be bringing out a Deagle or a Mac 10. So Miku is going to try and crawl out Monster. Basically on his knees at this point, begging for a way back in as, well, Mister will be the man to give it, but unfortunately, there's just too many bodies to deal with. Device.
Once over towards short with Mister. And it's this reactionary play, and it's the fundamentals that are really seeing Astralis over the line. It helps them leverage the advantage even further.
Oh, look at the damage. Yet again, you were talking about how good these spams are. Blame now going to be left in connector all on his own as Device. Not too sure if he rocked up late to the scene, but ultimately leaves his teammate out to dry. But Device wants one for the highlight. Reels Device. 3 in the round. Or Deagle, doesn't matter. The man knows how to use it all. And some well-placed shots into the 3rd means this round put into rest for Astralis. It's number 9.
All those kills, but now he's been restricted because of the finances. Has to only operate this AK. blamef. He gets caught by JKems. Out in towards long. And it's just this proactive pressure. I feel like Astralis have really been employing this over the last couple of rounds, and APEKS can never feel comfortable. They have to go into these bomb sites. Well, not even the bomb sites, to be honest. They have to go into these areas of control that normally were for free in the early stages, but now they're under lock and key and under a little bit of resistance. Good pre-fire and a follow-up molly. blamef under a lot of pressure, and in fact, how on earth is he alive?
Still a 5v4 for APEKS. Trying to get out of long. No, not going to happen. Glaive will eventually find the trade to Jacob. Still an advantage that falls in favor for Astralis. The advice in this round was to gamble, stack towards A. They're doubling up because look at the push yet again. Mister sitting in the back lines. Lurking through connector right now. Flashbang thrown by Zip to try and delay, to try and stop them from pushing in the next few moments. And well, Nork is able to catch off Blade, meaning Zip, the lone stander, the only man, the iron wall defense that Astralis need, finds the first but only one. Nice. Early aggression here, Brandon, out towards mid. I like this. One that I haven't really seen all too much before is a contact play out of middle. Usually we see teams, you know, head towards long or towards B. The fact they hold shift straight out, Jacob doesn't quite know. Lost in translation how close Astralis could be towards the toilet area as Nork is able to take down the big man of device, and Flame S still wants his way back in. Miku stands strong with the USP. Nork has to reload as pressure on his teammates amalgamate even further as Glaive finding Miku. The rest of the squad have to bow out of the initial engagements. JL wants to stick around, but the man that was there to find the first frag, the man now that has to find 3 more to try and deny Astralis of 10.
Yeah, limited HP, limited opportunity. Glaive's even tucking down in, making sure that he could be a nasty surprise. Nork strikes, but worried about Truck. Nobody's home. In fact, it's Zipex from DICE. Double digits for Astralis, and that was just a head-on collision on the A-bomb site. So many players, they've all rotated up in the meantime off the back of the initial entry found. Of course, Jay came out long, but the biggest thing is they were all fighting one by one. There was no real swings. The only one you can just try on the ground, it puts you back in a more comfortable position. Lose it, you're staring down the barrel of 13. And a flawless start to life on T-side overpass for Astralis. Name of the game in round number 18 for the CT side is just damage. See if you can overwhelm anyone, but Device isn't in the mood. Steeko already removed, and look at Mister taking all of this ground with the MAC-10. This feels free, but Jakem completely shuts him down. That's a great headshot.
That was free, but he pays the ultimate price. Down to 3 now for Astralis. Maybe a bit too overzealous on the early control. Bomb's going to be beckoned back around towards B. There's one man on the hold right now, and it is JL 5-7 on the divider, split between Monster and Short. Catching the legs of Glaive. Very important piece of information because he'll know that the bomb's there as well.
Yeah, now look at the reposition. In towards barrels, JChem has already collected a head, and JL goes one better.
That was low, Brandon. Bo's very low. Nade going to be dropped in. Zip needs to find it. JL. He's up close, but it's Jacob with the frag. And Glaive, 1v3, tries to trap the molly. But there's a man from the right, and it's a full eco win for APEKS.
APEKS, they can start to work their magic here on the defense.
This is where they get rifles. This is where they get to set the bar and the tone and the mode of this CT side. It's Jacob. Wants to put the inspector's hat on towards connector, and a big clue to an APEKS 8th is that opening frag. Mister taken out early. Jacob wants to back away himself, and Nork opting to play this one a little more passive, Brandon. I guess with the man advantage, they just want to run away with it rather than gamble it with it once more.
And that's good. And if you are going to go on a proactive push, do it with a friend. That's what JChem and Nork have got locked down in. The JChem can take initiative. Spots out the Deagle. Even more information to the CT side that the buy isn't quite there. You still do not want to play liberally. Device feels like Long Toilets is his home at the moment. The amount of real estate he keeps gathering in it. He is with the bomb, so he needs to be a little bit careful. So instead he's going to reset. Probably back down towards Connect to try and group with Glaive.
Smoke. Monster, Molly, Short. delays even further, but look at the clock, Brandon. That molly has bought so much time. There's 20 seconds left. Astralis now need to do this one in chaos. JL dancing around the pillar. Flashbangs are going. Monster players blind. But don't forget about JL. Lining device and zip up. Playing a game of dominoes. This is Jacob that finds... Very impressive. APEKS holding it down, using utility, whittling out the seconds on the clock. Big denominator, excuse me, to the Astralis defeat. It feels like in the previous few, Brandon, is just being put under pressure, right?
Yeah.
Clock seems to be doing a lot of the work. Other times it has just been too many bodies, too many angles, and Astralis being caught a little bit flustered, as this round should be an easy dismissal for Jacob as he makes it 3. Should hear the 4th device coming up as well. Nork will bail him out of business. As Zip, he did find Stiko, and so he has an M4 in his hands. This one should get revoked quite easily as JL goes aggressive on short, and he will do exactly that. It's 11-9.
That second, that third element in the mixture. Stiko looking to take point this time. Zipek's caught off guard, holds the spray for blame, but it's actually Nork to step in.
This is what we were talking about, right? APEKS have such interchangeability on who's the star man, who's the icon, the figure to step up. Stiko and Nork doing a lot of the work early doors. Previous round, we're talking about a JO and Jacob show. It really has been chop and changed. Miku a quiet game, but one that he knows that every kill of his 8 have been a very decent value. Nade lobbed. Oh my good lord, everyone hit by it. Mr. of the device chalked up to both around 70 HP. Grave flash, but it's JL that walks into the crosshair of Mr. 2v4, and he actually did spot Jacob out towards Con. Problem is, HE wasn't his best friend in the long run, as he does fall to low HP. Device now 1 versus 4. Wouldn't this be a story to tell? There's your first. 3 more to go. Here in the steps, at least, of someone with presence towards B. Wants to head up connector Stiko. This is such an off-angle device. Back turned. An easy one for him to pick up. And it is 10. It is double digits for APEKS.
I feel like that's quite a powerful thing you said about APEKS. The fact that you've got these different players that can step up at each individual moment. You can't really say that for Astralis. You look at device and you look at just kind of focus up and work together as a team. Get 1 or 2 kills a piece here or there in rounds that matter. Because suddenly this game can really spiral out of contention. Great flash. Nork fully blind. And the Tech 9 tries its best and it will overwhelm. Jacob has second thoughts about stepping in towards long, so instead will try and fight the playground. But Stiko's fallen in the interim. The man advantage is still with Astralis, and that's the rifles recovered.
Star on the orb, finding another. Another eco defeat. This time it's Astralis that posed that threat. B completely vacant. Astralis know all about it as well. The bomb?
No.
Making its way up towards A. Oh, this could be... The round could have been won for Astralis, but the fact that they are walking into all 4 players. Miku, back is turned. How quickly does he get checked? I mean, JO will know exactly what was up from long. Got to find the frag, and he does so. Blame F caught off. Now they know there's a man on site. Miku, what? He didn't hear the bomb plant. How did he not hear the bomb plant, Miku? It's all on JL. And he knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly what's at stake. A 1v3, and he does find the first. Smoke out, trying to get back into it. Flashbangs thrown in. And he actually does weave his way past the initial defense. They think they've got good timing. They think they've got him covered. Glaive holding it. Surefire. Making steps. JL crosses back. Again, not picked up on by Astralis, but as he wanders out for a second time, it's Glaive to take him down. 12-10. Listen, that should have been Astralis' round along, but how Miku did not hit the bomb plant is a mystery that I could never solve for you.
I have no idea. The only justification, I guess, is where it's shooting down long. Does that coincide with control? In round number 23, reinvestment has come over. Nork has prioritizes AWP device with one of his own. But Mr. feels under the pressure a little bit in connector because of these jump spots, because of the door being blown off, but he did at least hear J-Chem being tickled by the Molotov.
Get the early look in towards connector. And that give information to both teams and exchange. Astralis will use and APEKS will understand. One that doesn't provide a net profit. Still 55 seconds left on this round, Brandon. Still the best part of a minute to try and churn up something successful for Astralis. They have been at the lower hand the majority of this game, but an eco in the last could spiral everything right back out of control.
I really like this position from Nork. He's just tucked in enough so he can still see short, but he's not exposed from connector. Doesn't need to take that wide fight. He just needs to do his job. Lock in this area of the map, because that allows a third rotate towards A. And that's exactly where Astralis are heading. 25 seconds left. They need to go eventually, but are they ready for the amount of force that APEKS are putting behind it?
We'll see. 17 seconds. A nade, a molly, anything could cause certain disruptions around. Blame F finding JL. First frag out towards signpost is Jacob, but he's only good for one. There's a man on backside me who's going to be caught out yet again, just overextending. And Stiko and Nort 2v4 has to be a safe call. This round has to be done. This has to be Astralis' 13th.
God, they leave it late, don't they? Device starts planting the bomb with 5 seconds left. He's even the player to get the kill out towards Bank of Tech 9, of all things. But that's really well worked and well rehearsed by Astralis. The entry routing is by design to the point where as soon as players take first contact over towards the top of toilets, your long players can then swing in for support, and that is exactly what happens. It's a good crunch. J-Chem can't find anything from the sign position apart from the initial entry on towards Mr. That's actually a phenomenal execute from Astralis. Fortitude from the youngster that's really getting them over the line.
APEKS backs against the wall. This could be your undisputed map pick, the one that you've won 10 out of 10 times, the one that you've created a mini era at the end of this year about. Tucked completely away from you by an Astralis side that I think it's safe to say, Brandon, certainly haven't been on their A game the entire game, but certainly have been towards the end. And it could cost them everything. Mr. Opening kill yet again. Young gun, this time trying to provide more. Fortunately, more bodies in front of him than he bartered for. Glaive does get the trade, but there's another response out of Jacob, but doesn't expect Device to be so close. T-side want to pressure forward as JL gets aggressive towards Monster. Blame F runs through the smoke. No bomb. That's all right. He wants to go for something outrageous. Now Device. 1v2. Julie's in his hands, and look at the HP of JL. He's going to be the man to take first contact.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, that's a whiff. And that's an opportunity. Device even upgrading to the A4. Punches in the digits. Nork on a very quick rotate. Doesn't throw any utility. It's a stalemate. Look at that timing. Nork, I don't think spotted him. No, he's not looking at the angle. This is unreal.
Device is so convinced he's in connector right now. Wants to switch it back around. Wants to look back towards shore. It's about who faces who and what backs turn to what. Nork taps the bomb, convinced he's not on it. Device just wants to lob a molly, and Nork's going to go running. And the molly buys so much time. Device in the 1v2. JL's whiff. Nork's compromise, and there is minimal time to get on it. If he has to tap it now, it has to be a stick. Device swings. Doesn't matter that he finds the frag, because it's 15 on the board for Astralis, and a clinic of a 1v2 from Device. 10 for 11 on this map. Nade, Device opens things up. Jacob has a trade, but Glaive always an answer out of the big man. And now, man advantage. Astralis want to recoup elsewhere, and it's towards B. Thing is, Stiko up close, MP9, this angle, this position. Run along the surf. You can get wedged up here. Does this get checked by Astralis? They want to glaive the smoke, they want to run through. But Blame F, of course, and it's just JL and Nork. It's just the two remaining players. to try and deny Astralis of 16. JL on a worldie of a flank, but it's one that's held down, I do believe, by a flanker. Zip knows exactly where Nork is, and maybe even BlameF knows the number of JL. Nork's gonna find one, but Brandon, you feel like even with this kill, it should be all she wrote for map 1, as it's BlameF to close the show.